Hello, I am Disbrew, and today we start off with the most obvious and yet apparently shocking news event that you can't actually show full TV shows and movies on Twitch without any repercussions. It's probably not a shock to any of you, but it was to the multi-million-dollar streamers. Yes, Pokimane has been banned for watching Avatar: The Last Airbender on stream and the entire series for 10 hours. Don't know why anyone thought they could get away with it, but apparently they did. And this has led to some of the weirdest takes I've seen on the internet, to be honest. Now, Twitch is obviously a gaming website, or at least it should be, but it isn't. No, the meta of Twitch the last few weeks has been to just watch full episodes of series and movies and everything else, and this has always been a problem. React content has always been a problem, watching Hell's Kitchen and other things, but it's actually stepped up when people just start watching things like Avatar: The Last Airbender for the entire stream. It feels weird saying this on a platform like YouTube, where people will actually wonder if they can show movie trailers, trailers specifically designed to advertise a product, and yet they still get taken down for DMCA. But on Twitch, no, just show the full movie, who cares, right? That was never going to backfire. I mean, this wasn't obvious or anything, especially when you've got Amaranth coming out and going, I'm not even going to touch that. Someone that jumps on every Twitch meta that there is actually going, no, that's too risky for me. I can't get away with that. Some of the bigger streamers might, but I won't. I'm pretty sure when your streamers are actually obviously commenting on the multi-tiered system that you have on Twitch of actual enforcement of the rules, that's a problem in and of itself. When you've got XQC laughing off claims that he'll actually be banned, because obviously he can't be banned, because if they banned him, everyone would need to be banned, and that would take down the entire website. Because Ludwig actually made a video about how, yeah, Twitch probably shouldn't allow streaming movies and full TV series on there, because eventually the DMCA strikes are going to come in, and they are going to be vast, and XQC just called him molding. He was also right, though, wasn't he? He was right. Of course, this didn't stop Hassan coming out and going, yeah, Ludwig, you're not actually helping. No, what you're doing is dry snitching. I don't even know what dry snitching is or why it's different to snitching, but I don't think the problem is probably snitching here. I think everybody knows about it, and that's probably the problem. This is like Hollywood, the major multi-billion-dollar industries around the world. They probably actually understand what's going on and know what's going on. I don't think they need Ludwig, of all people, to make a video about it and like, oh my god, you've kind of blown my mind with that scenario. But the reactions were even stranger. I mean, after Pokimane actually did get banned, you had Carnage coming out. I'm worried about the future of Twitch. What he actually made was this tweet, saying you actually could make the argument that Pokimane was a fool for trying this. I don't know. I think Hollywood's a big enough industry that you probably don't want the lawsuits to happen. So yes, you could definitely make that argument. But then he says that Twitch is sitting there and watching while all this happens, and that's pretty frustrating, and that Twitch should do something about it, while simultaneously retweeting Twitch doing something about it. I would say that Twitch banning Pokimane was them doing something about it, because they really didn't have much choice. They had three options as I see it. They could do nothing and just wait for the DMCA strikes to come in and wipe out the entire platform. They could ban everyone and wipe out the entire platform, because this was all of the major content streamers, all of the biggest popular people were all doing this. Or they could slap one of the biggest streamers and hope that everyone else gets the message and stops doing it, which is what they did. But one of the weirdest attitudes that I've seen is that these Twitch streamers, you know, that you can't expect them to follow the rules. You can't expect them to follow the law. They're just teenagers in their early 20s laughing about. It's not that they're literally running multi-million-dollar businesses. No. Why would we expect them to know the law? Twitch TV's mess is about to burst, but who's to blame? It's the argument that, these people are just doing their job in entertainment. The blame firmly lies in Twitch's negligence of all places. Because streamers will obviously push the boundaries. It's Twitch's problem. Twitch is responsible for all of this. And I really don't understand what's going on here. I mean, I'm not a fan of the DMCA and copyright legislation, nor how people use it as it is. But when people have been deciding to stream shows like MasterChef, Kitchen Nightmares, and Avatar, I think anyone could have told you that was going to end badly. But Mizkif has really taken a strange lesson from this. He's done playing with fire. He's not going to do it anymore. But what were the takeaways that he took from this lesson? Yes, the lesson he learned was that you don't want to do anything different. Just follow what everyone else is doing. That's the easiest route. You should just watch MasterChef. Yeah, it's not that you probably shouldn't have watched anything at all. No, it's that he should have watched MasterChef, because it doesn't actually matter if we're actually going to annoy a major multi-billion-dollar industry. No, As long as Twitch doesn't enforce it, we're just going to keep poking that bear. That seems like a great strategy to me. Next up, Amazon's Fallout TV series continues production, and they've announced a co-showrunner who has created such literary masterpieces as Captain Marvel. Oh, this is going to be good, isn't it? Yes, not only is this Fallout TV series created by Amazon, someone who's recently destroyed the Wheel of Time, but the writing credits between include people like Captain Marvel and Tomb Raider, alongside The Office, Silicon Valley, and Baskets, suggesting a humorous twist on the apocalypse. Yeah, because what I really think of when I think of a post-apocalyptic Fallout show is a comedy experience. I mean, it's already been a long time since we've got any decent content in the Fallout world, and so this is going to be the next thing we get. And it's this from the creators of Captain Marvel. No, all I'm saying is any expectations I've got for this show have been severely tempered the more I find out about it. If you're a fan of the Serious Sam titles, which I had a lot of fun in the time, yes, it's mindless fun, but just fighting off hordes of enemies I think is always fun. Then you could be in for a treat later this month, as Devolver Digital just randomly tweets out yesterday, what if a new Serious Sam game was announced next week and released this month? And with Serious Sam responding, we can probably take that as confirmation. I think that's safe to say. Look, Serious Sam games are not complicated or deep. They just turn your mind off and shoot as many monsters as possible. And that's exactly why I think they're great. So I'm actually looking forward to this one later this month. I just really hope they can capture that magic that the starter games, the original games in the series, definitely captured. Lost Ark has released a new gameplay video showcasing what you can expect when it releases in February. Now, this is a game that's been sort of localized in Amazon, but actually comes from Korea and has been around for quite a while. And while I think it looks good, and I think the combat looks interesting, I'm always very cautious of these games, not just because the sort of Korean MMOs and RPGs tend to be renowned for being a bit pay-to-win and grindy, but because the microtransactions themselves almost seem to back that up. Because this free-to-play game has additions that you can buy for up to $100, and in their Lost Ark business model, they actually talk about changes they've made from the original game to try and make it a bit more palatable, that most things can be exchanged at a player market, and so you can all earn everything in-game. It's not that everything seems to be cosmetic. There are definitely things in here which provide an advantage, and it even talks about how at one point they removed actual movement speed increases, which will obviously have a direct impact on the game itself, and is worrying. Not the fact they've removed it, that's obviously a good change, but the fact that that was in the game in the first place shows that they were definitely at least thinking about going there, and it's always a red flag to me the moment things like that happen. So I'm cautious about Lost Ark, because although I think the graphics look cool and the combat looks fun, you can never be sure about how pay-to-win these things are until they actually release, and even in the past I've been burned by Arcade, which didn't release as pay-to-win, but turned into it over time. So we'll have to see how this one goes. And finally, at CES, Razer is back at it again with a really strange desk. Its product Sophia is essentially a gaming desk where the desk is your computer and your interface and everything else. One of the obvious problems for me is that this is meant to be a desk and is a desk that you can't even use because the desk is your interface. And so while I like to actually put things on my desk like a normal person, this is a desk where you can't. Yes, you may find that if you use this, you might actually need another desk because you can't use your actual desk. And I think that's definitely one of the major design flaws. Apart from that, I'd always like these kind of modular designs which allow you to swap out things and upgrade things over time. So the inherent design of it appeals to me. Just not sure it's exactly the way to go, or if this will ever see the light of day. We've seen with some other Razer products, no matter how bizarre they were, they actually came into fruition. But this is just a concept at the moment, and whether it ever sees the light of day will likely depend on whether they can actually get manufacturers to even start producing all of their little modified components underneath the desk. That's what I see to be an uphill battle. But for now, that's it from me. If you liked the video, press like and subscribe. More videos in the future, and let me know what you thought of any of the topics down below. But for now, that's it from me. I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, bye-bye.